At the end of the last episode, I hinted at some creatures that are found throughout Sir Alfred's Kosmosa Manuscript. At first, I thought they were different types of mythical dragons, but then I realized they were not dragons, and they were not mythical. Let's be real. You've seen my earlier videos. You've seen the title of, well, this video. You know perfectly well that I believe that those creatures are dinosaurs. So I think it's time I gave you a proper explanation of why I think this. So I'm going to take a quick break from my story about finding the manuscript to explain to you all why I believe the creatures in Sir Alfred's manuscript are dinosaurs. Let's start with the raw data, specifically the references in the manuscript. First, little bit of background. The main story takes place on an island called Kosmosa around the year 146 BC. The island itself was about the size of Ireland and off the coast of North Africa and Portugal, pretty much where the Azores are today. Don't worry, I'll explain how I know, or think I know, all of this in later episodes. For now, just take my word for it. The island of Kosmosa had an advanced human civilization, with several large cities, a network of roads, and all the towers and temples and palaces that you'd expect from a thriving ancient civilization. This island also had a bunch of creatures that, to all of us non-Cosmosans, might raise some eyebrows. The word the manuscript uses for these creatures is taunin. This seems to be an original Cosmosan word that Sir Alfred brought over from that ancient manuscript that he found. As an aside, this means that Tonin is potentially of great interest to modern-day linguists. It's one of only a very small handful of Cosmosan words that Sir Alfred preserved. More on this in a later episode. The word Tonin refers to a wildly diverse set of creatures. Most Tonin live on land. However, some swim in the ocean and some fly. Some are domesticated as livestock. Others are domesticated as hunting companions, messengers, or even pets. Many others are wild. Some taunin are covered in feathers. Others have scaly hides. Still others have some combination of feathers and scaly hides. The smallest taunin are barely the size of a modern magpie. The largest are nearly as long as a blue whale. Some eat plants, some eat meat. Some are fast and clever, some are slow and plodding. Some have armor, some have spikes. Some could even breathe fire. Well, sort of. Again, I'll explain later. So obviously, with this much diversity, the word taunin must refer to a whole class of creatures. Sort of like how mammal refers to animals from mice to lions to whales. Or a bird could be a hummingbird, an eagle, or an ostrich. So what is this class of creature for taunin? Dinosaurs. It's dinosaurs. As much as I want to get to the dinosaurs right away, I first have to be fair to Sir Alfred Lemon by fairly representing his views on what the taunin were. Luckily, I've been able to track down the original journal of Sir Alfred Lemon. Long story, which I'll explain on some future episode. There are several entries where he tries to work out what these taunin are. His first instinct, like mine, was to assume that they were some sorts of mythical dragons. But he soon rejected the idea. And as Sir Alfred so often does, he went into excruciating detail as to why. To briefly summarize, his reasons included 1. The dragons handed down throughout world folklore, whether East or West, are clearly mythological. Side note, Sir Alfred actually went down a very long rabbit trail where he seriously considered whether dragon legends are based on real animals. Very interesting read, but I didn't find it especially persuasive. Sir Alfred knew, however, that the island of Kosmosa was real. Yes, I'll explain why in later videos. And the taunin that appear throughout the manuscript seem about as real can get. People ride on top of them. They raise them as pets. They both eat and are eaten by them. In fact, they're the only animals that are real on this real island. 2. The term taunin seemed far too inclusive to mean just dragons as we think of them. Maybe Sir Alfred could have entertained some dinosaur species which we later discovered, say T-Rex, Spinosaurus, Quetzalcoatlus, as being a sort of dragon. But what about little guys like Compsognathus? Not exactly dragonish. Okay, so Sir Alfred rejected the term dragon. Fair enough. But did he think that taunin could be dinosaurs? Well, unfortunately for my argument, he did not think that the taunin were dinosaurs. But as I'll explain in more detail in my next video, that's largely because of the Victorian era that he lived in. When viewed in light of modern archaeology, dinosaurs make the most sense, as I'll explain next time. Thank you once again for watching. Really appreciate it. As you can imagine, I'm trying very hard to boost the profile of Kosmosa, so please like and subscribe. If you want to read the middle grade book that is the result of all of this Kosmosa stuff, you can pre-order my middle grade fantasy novel, Red Rex, using the link in the description below. And if you want to watch the first episode in this series to get all caught up, please click on the link right over there. Thank you for watching. Catch you next time.